wealth creation has been largely dominated by people with access to resources, access to power, corruption, cornering natural resources, real estate, and of course some with real innovation. But by and large, if you see the last 10-15 years, wealth creation has been largely through crony capitalism and not through innovation-driven capitalism. This has to change, and this will change. If you look back in history, wealth has been created at different eras through different means. Maybe 200 years ago, maybe 100 years ago, it was agriculture. So whoever owned land controlled wealth creation. From there it moved to the Industrial Revolution. Whoever owned factories, the factors of production, capital, technology, access to technology created wealth. All that has changed. In the last 2 decades, the biggest wealth creators are the people with ideas, with knowledge. We are firmly in the knowledge era. If you look at the market cap of the 3 main companies that have become very popular, Google, Facebook, and Amazon, these guys don't produce anything. They're largely websites with some back-end operations. Amazon has fulfillment centers. But if you see the market cap of these 3 companies, it is close to 2/3 of the total Indian market cap on the Bombay Stock Exchange. And this is largely driven through intangible value creation. So this is the era of ideas, the power of ideas. And what enabled this? This is enabled through an ecosystem for innovation. Top-notch academic institutions like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, where the ideas took in a germ. Then access to capital, in a way, risk capital. When this was just an idea, somebody backed these ideas. And then, talent from all over the world converging into these hotbeds of innovation in Silicon Valley as well as in the East Coast, maybe Boston. So in a way, these hubs of innovation are something we should look at and learn from. These are around universities, these are around academic institutions, and everything, people came there, capital came there, they leveraged on the power of ideas and created enormous value and wealth. This is what we should be doing with our universities. But our universities are still way behind in creating new knowledge. We have become training institutes. We are churning out engineering graduates, barely equipped to do their jobs, and then they have to be retrained. And we have become mass production centers for engineers and other degrees. This has to change. And I think the time has come for universities to take the lead and invest heavily in research. If you look at the value creation through knowledge, this is much more than what is being done today through cost arbitrage or other means by which, these are good success stories. The IT industry driven by the internet has created enormous value for the country, created huge employment opportunities and brought India onto the world map. That's a great success story, but still, collectively, it's a fraction of the total pie, a very small percentage of the total pie. If you take our own industry, the life sciences industry, the pharmaceutical business, we've done a great job, aided by a very friendly patent regime. The industry created a lot of value. We actually met the needs of India in terms of affordable medicines. We also went abroad, created affordability in many, many markets. Today, AIDS medicines and cancer medicines are affordable in many parts of the world, including Sub-Saharan Africa, South America, and many other emerging countries because of the efforts of Indian industry. For the change in the political situation in India, for innovation in India. We need to create the ecosystem. We need to create access to capital to take these ideas and invest in them. Learn to be comfortable with failure, build greater depth in research in academic institutions, and remove barriers to the free flow of talent. Today the best talent goes to the West. Only what is left here is working on Indian innovation. We need to make our academic institutions much more entrepreneurial. We need to support the creation of businesses. We have to tolerate failure, and we have to invest much more. An investment in academic institutions will provide a much higher rate of return than in other areas that we are as a country investing in. Like somebody said, giving free power, free water is fine, but if that money is really invested in creating institutions of excellence, we will have a multiplier effect in terms of the innovation. We need to address the shortage of talent. Our institutions are still not hotbeds of innovation. We must move away from creating graduate producing factories to creators of innovative knowledge. We need to have scale. Indian companies still don't invest sufficiently in research. The pharmaceutical industry, which is among the highest investors in R&D, is about, on an average, 6 to 8% of the top companies that invest in research. That's just not enough. We have to go into double digits and go even higher. Venture funding needs to improve, and it's kind of a chicken and egg story. There are not enough ideas for the best venture capitalists to come into India, and because there's no venture capital, ideas don't flourish. So we need to break this cycle and bring in high quality venture money into India. The government has to support these efforts. Plus, if we want to realize our potential for innovation, we need to create the ecosystem, and the most important part of this ecosystem, the origin of ideas, the power of ideas, comes from academic institutions. And this is where I urge all of you to focus on, as alumni, as proud alumni of this institution. I'd like you to give back to this, your alma mater, invest in your alma mater, and make this a hotbed of innovation. And why can't this be the MIT of India or the Stanford of India? Think about that. Thank you very much.